And speaking of family and Christmas, do you guys have any special family traditions at Christmas time?
Talking about Journey to Bethlehem?
Yeah. The tradition is, when are we going to make this movie?
Well, we're Swedish, so we have a huge smorgasbord every year. My mom still makes that for us, and it takes her about a month to get it all ready.
Every year, spoiler alert if there's kids watching, after the kids go to bed, Santa gets his stuff ready and
Come in and then...
he comes in and my wife and I maybe put together the gifts and we watch The Holiday. Every year, we watch The Holiday at that time.
Good old Jack Black.
Good old Jack Black, man. He's so good in that movie.
My dad was always big about cutting down their own tree, and my most memorable Christmas was we had these big ceilings, and he went out in the forest and he brought back this granddaddy of them all, and it couldn't even fit through the front door. But I just remember sitting under that tree and it being larger than life.
We do Christmas tree cookies. There are these green cookies shaped like Christmas trees. We do them every single year, and if you mess up a batch, you got to do a new batch. So we're making batches and batches.
On tour. we leave next week.
Literally next week. So that is the tradition.
This is an amazing story. It's never been told as a musical. However, I know it's been quite the process to make it become a musical. How's that process been?
Long.
And tiring.
Yeah, 17 years of bothering her with ideas. It was funny the other day. I was like, hey, I have this other idea for a movie. She's like, stop talking. You're not allowed to talk about ideas till January. I'm like, okay, fair enough. It's been a lot. It's been dominated our family for a really long time. So this is a really special moment. We're trying to soak it all in.
Yes, we're being disciplined about celebrating this moment.
This movie itself is family friendly, clean. Why is that so important for society today?
Wow, that's a good question.
Well, it's hard to find a movie where you can take the whole family and not worry about what's going to be said and what the agenda is and what, this is just literally the story of Christmas in a package that everyone can enjoy. Young kids, parents, grandparents, even people who aren't believers will love this movie, and that's how we wanted it to be. Awesome.
Yeah, I just feel like people are busier than ever. And especially at Christmas, our lives take us in so many different directions. And I think it's important to find time and a space to gather as a family. And this movie allows people to do that.
This is an epic movie, but it's also family friendly. And you can bring the entire family to it. It's got music and fun. Why is that important in today's society?
Oh, okay. Why is it? Why? You said so many good things, and then said, why should we have so many good things?
I stacked it up for you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the lob. Listen, anybody who's paying attention to what's going on in the world today knows that we live in a very difficult time. There's a lot of things that are difficult to look at. Doesn't mean we shouldn't be looking at them and paying attention to them. We should. But it's also a beautiful thing when we can escape from that as a family and be reminded of this incredible story that happened a couple of thousand years ago that has shaped the entire society as we know it. And so the timing is really important. We feel like it's a fun movie that, as you mentioned, you could take your whole family to, and we think it's a great time for something like that to be in the marketplace.
That's awesome. And this story in particular hasn't been told quite like this before. What's the process like of turning this story into a musical?
Well, I got to give credit to our co-writer and filmmaker and director Adam Anders, who this has been a passion of his for many, many years. I was privileged enough to be one of the early people that he told this idea to, and then privileged enough to have great partners at Monarch that we could pour some gasoline on that fire. So, I remember the first time he told me about it over lunch 10 years ago, said there should be a musical about Mary and Joseph, and it should be fun. And I was like, how does that not exist in my repertoire of Christmas movies that I watch every year? How is this not one of them? And so we set out to make that a reality, and here we are.
I mean, right now, I think, right now in society where hope is so counterculture, it's it's kind of a rebel unit, and it's kind of exciting to see faith film kind of branch out into different things. And so, Adam Anders that directed this film is a good friend, and to see a musical, to see something that the music's fantastic in this film. So he let me have a sneak peek and kind of look at an early cut and kind of gave some thoughts and input on it. And it's just, we're a small group of individuals that are all allies that want to see each other win. So, when one of us wins, whether it's, we had a win with Jesus Revolution last year, and then Sound of Freedom, all those films, when it happens, it gives all of us as Christians more opportunity in the culture.
It's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And you got a lot on your plate coming up. Is there anything in particular you're really excited about coming down the pipe?
got several. Some that I can talk about, some that I can't. I've gotten in trouble for talking too much in the past, but two of the ones I can talk about is we've got one called Ordinary Angels with Hilary Swank. Comes out in February, and it is fantastic. John Gunn directed it. An amazing performance by Hilary. And then we've got one called Unsung Hero with the band for King and Country that Joel Smallbone, who is in this film, he acts and directs the film. So it's his family story, and it comes out in April, and this one's going to catch everybody off guard. It's the next I can only imagine.
This is a passion project for our whole family. You know, Adam had this vision probably 17 years ago now. And so we've heard about it and everything, and it's kind of started and stopped, and then we finally got to do it, and it's been an amazing process. So.
And it's such an important story today because it brings family together and everything. Why is that so important in today?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of darkness in the world right now, you know, so I think this film is something where families can go together and they can leave with joy and happiness, and it's an uplifting story. It's a story that's been told for over 2,000 years, you know. Our calendar is based on this story, so it's very important, and I think with Christmas time, we've lost a lot of the meaning of why we even celebrate Christmas, and so it's important to go back and look at why we actually do this and celebrate Christmas together as a family.
What all goes into making a great musical?
We wrote the first song 6 years ago. Just that amount of time I spent, not every day, of course, but it's such a process of making a movie, and all the people involved, it's mind-boggling how many people it takes. But it's been a lot of love and a lot of fun, and of course it's ups and downs, but yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And this movie in particular has a lot of like kind of homages to other songs that you may know that are familiar. What's the process like of kind of adapting those and making them sound new and exciting?
Well, it's, of course, you're inspired by other songs and other sounds. Ultimate Deception, I had a little West Side Story thing. Nothing in particular, but it was just a West Side Story vibe. You probably haven't picked up on it, but if you listen, it's there.
So this movie is like wholesome, fun, putting joy back into joy to the world. Why is it important to have like good, clean, fun family entertainment?
Oh my goodness. All we do in my family is good, clean, fun family entertainment. Honestly, I think it just goes back to captivating and taking back the purity in this world. We all have so many different values, and I think having a place where families can feel free to bring their kids and just all have fun together is something that is so rare nowadays, and something that's just needed. You know what I mean? Something that's a baseline. Everyone can just come, have fun, and not worry about anything is needed, and this is what this movie is, so I'm super excited to watch it.
How is it going in your career?
Aw, that's a great question. How is it going in my career? Great. Really good, actually. Right now I'm working on a lot of new music, an album, actually. So, and a lot of it is about Jesus. So I'm really excited because it's my first project that really is going to be faith-based. All my other stuff is pop. And so, yeah, God is taking me into a whole new season. Yeah.
And with that, have you seen kind of like people coming out of the woodwork that have been like really speaking into your life and into your career and this kind of work that you've been doing now?
Yeah. I feel like I have so many great people in my life that I feel like have just seen me since I started my career. And now that I'm kind of even talking about different content, it's been cool to see different people in kind of like the faith space come out and be like, we want to support you. And that's what I'm excited about.
So this movie is all about like family and hope and light. Why is that important in today's society?
Oh my gosh, we need it. I mean, I feel like it's necessary, and especially with what we do, and we're constantly on the road and constantly meeting people from around the world, really. We just finished our world tour, and so just seeing how just a little bit of music could just really just bring so much joy and comfort to so many people. It's just, it's really, you realize how necessary it is, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so beautiful how music brings people together, and to see it interwoven throughout this film, I think a lot of people will get a lot of joy and light, and I pray that filters in throughout their families as well, and they can think about those themes as they move on throughout their daily lives.
If you enjoy enjoy videos that follow your values like ours, and you want to help us continue, go to movieguide.org/donate, because we're actually a nonprofit. You may not know that, but we're working in Hollywood every day to help families have more choices that follows their values. And also subscribe right now.